Hey y'all, happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. We're gonna finish up these notes from today, the origins of Judaism notes. We started on Friday. I put another link to it in the module for today in case you can't find the old one. So be sure to go back if you missed up any part of it. Go back and fill those in. Those will actually help you on the assignment you guys will have tomorrow. Um, So I think we ended it here on Friday. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start here again. We were talking about Abraham and how he took the Jewish people from Mesopotamia to Canaan, Israel. Remember, Canaan is another name for Israel, and so you can kind of see where we think Abraham took his journey to get to Israel. We actually He actually stayed in Israel for the Israelites, the Jews, stayed in Israel for a while. And then eventually, due to a famine or a food shortage, they were told they moved to Egypt, down here, and they did this because of the food shortage, the famine that was happening in Canaan, Israel at the time. So they moved down to Egypt, where they were told there was a better food supply there. And so what eventually happened was that food supply, or that once they got into Egypt, they became slaves in Egypt. And so before they went there, actually, God made, or according to the Bible, God told Abraham this, that he would make unto him a great nation, and he would bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless you and curse him that curseth you, and all families of the earth shall be blessed in you. And so this is where you'll often hear people say the Jews are God's chosen people because of this promise here. You'll often see this called the promise or the covenant, which essentially they are the same thing. So with that promise, they were in Egypt. Um, and over time, they essentially became slaves in Egypt. After a while, the Pharaoh, who is the Egyptian king, president, whichever term you want to use, he's in charge. He grew fearful of the Hebrews or Jewish living in Egypt and made them slaves. A man named Moses comes out and leads the Hebrews out of Egypt. So if you're familiar with any of the Bible stories at all, we are talking about the Moses who took the Israelites out of Egypt. Same Moses. This is known. It's not up here, so I would jot this down too. This is when they left. This is known as the Exodus from Egypt. So along the way out, they reached what is known as Mount Sinai, where God made a covenant, a promise with Moses and the Hebrews. So he made another covenant with them, and he said that if the Hebrew people obey the laws and rules that he creates, he will make sure that they are God's chosen people, a holy nation, overcome all enemies, and God would treat them with grace and mercy. So this is where the Ten Commandments are familiar, because the whole "Thou shalt have no other gods for me," honor thy mother and father. Those 10. This is where those come in. While they were at this Mount Sinai, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. In total, there are actually over 600, but most people are familiar with just the first 10. So eventually, they were able to return to Canaan and set up a government there. And for a while, they managed to do okay. After a while, a series of invaders came into the region. The Babylonians, if you remember them, Hammurabi's people, they came in. Other neighboring groups fought into and conquered the region. The Roman Empire would eventually show up. And after one of these wars and one of their kings dying, a struggle over who would be the next king of Israel came into play. And eventually, they split into two groups, one called Israel, the other Judah. Eventually, both kingdoms would be conquered by invading armies, and the Jewish people themselves would not have a homeland, their own country, until after World War II. So for like 2,000 plus years, the Jewish people didn't have their own country like we think of. Some important events, holidays for Jewish people that you all should probably be aware of. Hanukkah, it's just a Jewish celebration over victory that allowed them to continue practicing their religion. Passover, it's a celebration in honor of their exodus out of Egypt. Rosh Hashanah, the first 2 days of a new year in the Jewish calendar, and then Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year for Jews, where they ask God to forgive them of their sins. So I believe that is actually all we have for today. So hang on to those notes, save them on your computer somewhere where you will be able to access them tomorrow, as you will need those for when we do the assignment you're getting tomorrow. As always, if you all have questions over anything we've talked about, need me to explain it a little better, just let me know. I'm around pretty much whenever. Just let me know that you guys need help. I cannot read your minds. Do not want to read your minds. So if you are having any problems, you guys have got to tell me that you're not understanding what we're doing. I can't help you if you don't ask for help. So with that being said, that is actually all I have for you all. Hope you all have a good rest of your Monday, and I will see you all tomorrow.